next installment of the Top 100 East Texas Players of 2025. This is the 70 through number 61 edition. Quick rundown of how you get here. First team all district or superlative, had highlight tape, made the grades. It's pretty simple. These guys right here are all going to be either 93 or 94 rated overall players. Guys I thought were really good football players, and so let's not prolong this. Let's get right into it. At number 70, a senior quarterback from Marshall, Texas, it is Alton Henderson. Henderson had an incredible year for Marshall this year. Last 2 years, he's played really good at that position. And the thing about Alton and him playing quarterback, he's really a running back in a quarterback's position. They do a lot of running the football, but this year they expanded the game a little bit this year. They did allow him to throw some more passes this year. He's a good downfield thrower. He can throw the ball down the field deep and accurately. And, of course, at 5'7", 165 pounds and probably the fastest guy on the field, he was definitely used more as a running back than just a true quarterback. You see him breaking off long runs, really good. He's an outside zone merchant, man. He can get outside. He can run that quarterback sweep outside really well, and then it's all about him being able to make defenders miss on that second and third level, which he made a lot of defenders miss in 2025. A very good year for Marshall. He ran over, for Henderson and for Marshall on top of that. He ran for over 1,100 yards. Was the team's heartbeat on offense, was the team's number one threat on the offensive side of the ball. And just a level of consistency of how he played, running the football all year long, is why he ends up here on the list at number 70. At number 69, a junior wide receiver from Lindale, Texas, is Caden Fowler. Lindale runs the ball a lot. It's been the source of their identity for the last ever since Cochran's been there. They've had a couple of quarterbacks that can come in there. Tam Peterson was really good, and Dave Lindick is pretty good too, but they're not going to come out and just overwhelm you throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game. So it kind of makes what Caden Fowler does in his few opportunities per game really special. He's a guy that can catch the fade ball in the end zone. He does a really good job in his route running and separating from defenders. Not the fastest guy in the world, so he knows how to mix and mesh his speeds in and out of cuts and does a good job of creating separation from DBs. And then he's always going to find a way to get to that football. He got a great set of hands, made a ton of difficult going to the ground catches for Lindale this year. I thought he was a really good football player. I think in another system, you see a guy that could easily go over 1,300 yards with 15, 16 plus touchdowns. I think he has that kind of game. Of course, that's not what they do out there at Lindale, but that's no fault to him. Caden Fowler is a great football player, great set of hands, great route running ability, very competitive. He's going to break some tackles. He's going to look for open space. He's not just going to go down as soon as he gets the ball. He's a really good football player, and he's the reason why I got him here at number 69. Caden Fowler, the junior from Lindale. At number 68, a huge offensive tackle from Pleasant Grove. It is K.J. Greer. A lot of improvement from K.J. Greer. Last year I had him as an 88. This year he comes in as a 94. I thought he had a really great season this year. I think he really improved his athleticism from his junior to his senior year. You're going to see that first clip of him absolutely mauling that guy, pulling on the counter trap right there. Had good feet this year. He does a really good job and he's huge, and that's part of the reason why. But he can really generate a lot of surge off the line of scrimmage within his first two steps, and you can see that on his tape. He is moving bodies. Bodies are being dismissed and placed all over the place. He's resetting guys 2 or 3 yards back when he touches them, and he gets to moving his feet backwards, which is a really good trait to have as an offensive lineman. Not the most athletic guy in the world. Like I said, his athleticism has improved. You can see his athleticism when he's pulling, but in his pass blocking, you see his feet kind of do die from time to time. I think that's why he's going to be an interior lineman on the next level. He looks like he could be already a great size at 6'4", 6'5". You put him down there in the interior where he doesn't have to be as athletic to block the quick, nimble feet of those defensive ends on the next level. I think if he plays either guard or center, he'll be immaculate at that position wherever he goes to next. But this is his first time making the list. And like I said, a big improvement from last year. He jumped from an 88 to a 94. Really good athleticism, and I think that's the biggest thing. His athleticism improved so much over the offseason. He's did a really good job of just rebranding who he is as a player, and he did a good job, and that's why he comes up here on the list at number 68. At number 67, a senior cornerback from Sulphur Springs, it is Gio Ibarra. And Gio Ibarra is a very good player, very athletic, very savvy, sticks to people, can cover you in man coverage, and then more important than anything else, he can get his hands on the football and turn it over. It's the most valuable thing you can do as a defender is steal possessions from the other team and get your offense back on the field. And Ibarra had a great year in 2025 doing just that. As you see him, he is a smooth criminal, man. This guy moves and backpedals and gets in and out of his cuts as well as any corner you'll see in East Texas this year. I thought he had a really strong senior season, especially from a guy that was considered kind of unknown to me anyway. He didn't make first team all district last year for Sulphur Springs, so I didn't really even see Ibarra last year. To see him ball out as a senior is what this list is all about. You got guys who get it figured out as a senior and get that recognition as a first team all district guy, and then they can need to be shown and need to be seen. This is a guy I think can play on the next level. He's a guy I think that could, play at the especially the Division III, Division II level, but maybe even at the Division I SFA type level. I think he's a really good football player. I think he shows good hands, great cuts, great movement, what you need and want out of a corner. He's a willful tackler, will come up and make plays and make hits and get people onto the ground. A solid source of coverage for Sulphur Springs in 2025, and he pops up here on the list at number 67. At number 66, a senior wide receiver and corner from Edgewood, Texas. It is his second time on the list. It's Jathan Johnson. Back-to-back years for Jathan. And Jathan Johnson is an absolute bullet. He is as fast as they come. When he gets the ball in his hands, it could be a home run every single time. This guy can swing for the fences as a ball carrier, man, because he's got one-in-a-kind speed. You definitely need to cover him, and a lot of teams could not cover him this year. He benefits from playing from one of the best quarterbacks in East Texas and Trevor Golightly, and you'll see him on the list later. But this guy, when you have a quarterback like that who can put the ball in people's hands, and then you have a receiver with the speed of a Jathan Johnson, who I think is just absolutely one of the faster guys in East Texas. Can't name more than 2 or 3 guys from the receiver position that I'd be willing to bet that's faster than him. He can really go from that spot. He can operate out of the slot. He operated as an outside receiver for the majority of his time period, and running straight flies and running right by people. Speed is something that you can coach it, but if you got natural speed, you can't do nothing with it. Jathan's one of those guys that is just absolutely naturally fast. You see it on the tape. You see that track stride whenever he opens up and gathers away from people. But don't just let the speed be the only thing that attracts your eye. He can catch that football now. He's got a great set of hands and has been making plays for the last 2 years for Golightly and Edgewood. And the senior comes up here on the list at number 66. At number 65, a junior defensive lineman from Chapel Hill, it is Caden Franklin. And Franklin is a big old dude. He plays defensive end, but he's got the body of a 3-tech, especially on the high school level. He is a powerful dude. He shoots through the gaps. He can get back there untouched. He is held on an offensive lineman that cannot move his feet. He's got plays with a lot of fury. He plays with a lot of attitude, plays with a lot of excitement. He makes a play. He wants to let you know about it, and you can see it. And that's part of the tale of being a good defensive lineman. Most of those guys have really extremely high motors, and they play with their emotions, and they play on fire. And that's just one of those things you got out of Caden Franklin. For him to have over 100 tackles as a defensive lineman, Chapel Hill didn't even play as many games as they typically play. Last 4 years they've been in the 4th round. Not quite that far this year. So for him to have 113 tackles just kind of lets you know that he was a highly productive player. And on top of that, one of the best defensive linemen on the field, because defensive linemen getting 100 tackles doesn't happen unless they're one of the best. Had to fight double teams as one of the best players on the field. Like I said, he plays defensive end, has a thicker body, you would think would be a defensive tackle, but has that type of athleticism that he can survive and play well on the edge if necessary. I think he's a really good football player. Excited to see what he brings back in 2026. But here on the list at number 65, the junior from Chapel Hill, defensive end tackle, Caden Franklin. At number 64, a junior tailback out of Commerce, Texas, Commerce High School. It is Kimani Graham. And, man, is he a fun player to watch. He's a big, thick kid, man. He's not one of those small guys that runs around and runs around and runs around and shakes everybody. This is a guy that can accelerate. He can run. He is fast, but he's a big old dude, and it's going to take a lot to get him on the ground. He has great vision. He knows how to press the ball forward. And when you're not the fastest, you understand how to get to the end zone in the quickest way possible, also while trying to avoid people as well. I just like his stature. I like his size. I like his run style. I believe he runs behind his pads. I think he's very difficult to tackle, and then especially tackle later in the game as it goes. A big, thick kid like that, nobody wants to try to hit in the fourth quarter. And him and his quarterback, Aiden Brown, had an incredible year. They were one of the best backfield duos that you saw in East Texas, from a quarterback to a running back. They tormented teams on the ground this year, and Kamani was just special, had a really good year. Really rose from a guy that I didn't grade last year, wasn't the first team all district guy last year, didn't get him on. So just to see him and his progression from one year to the next, and cracking this list, and then hopefully get a chance to see him next year again in the 2026 list. But a great physical running back with all of the tools and the body type to really just punish a defense. Kamani Graham pops up here at number 64. At number 63, the senior defensive end from Kilgore, Texas, it is Bison Williams. And Bison Williams, hair on fire, man. He is a guy that plays with a lot of edge. Over 100 tackles, 110 tackles, I believe. Blocked about 2 or 3 punts this year. Had 3 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. An active guy. And if you watch Kilgore play, you would have saw Zero. Zero's going to be seen. He's going to make plays. He's going to celebrate. He had a great playoff run, blocked a couple of punts. I know he blocked one against Crawford. I can't really say who he blocked the other one against. Tapes I'm really ringing in front of me right now. But, man, Bison had an incredible year. And the body type, he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's about 6 foot. Looks like he's about 186, 188 pounds, somewhere in there. Not the biggest guy in the world. He might be 215. Just like I said, you really don't know. You can't tell based off his body type. But when you see him running around making plays, you think maybe college linebacker, maybe this, because the body type doesn't say defensive end in college for sure. But this ain't a college list. We're just talking about how well he played this year, how he was always all over the field. If you watched the state title game, you saw him and the linebackers that really played really well. That Kilgore defense swarmed the football against Stephenville. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with points that day. But it wasn't because of the defense, the reason why I believe they lost that game. Bison Williams, a strong player, made many plays in the special teams and on defense for Kilgore in 2025, and pops up here on the list at number 63. At number 62 is back-to-back list for the senior wide receiver from Texas High. It is Shavonte Montgomery. He jumps up about 20 spots from where he was last year. This dude can absolutely play. He would have been the number 1 target and been the number 1 receiver for almost any other team. He just has Trey Ball on his team, and they love to run the ball out there at Texas High, but both traditionally at the running back position. And when Trey Ball decided to slide back there in 2025, Shavonte is absolutely amazing as a receiver. He can run routes, has a great set of hands. He's well more dangerous after he catches the ball. He can turn a hitch into a 90-yard gain. He can really run with the football. Great ball carrier vision, great ability to break tackles. Really physical player out there at the wide receiver position. Grade him as a 94 overall. So this is not some slouch, even though you might see him here in the 60s. This is not some slouch. This is a guy that I think can absolutely play. Is as good as any receiver in East Texas. I think with the tape and what he did, this is where he just ends up popping up on the list at number 94. Like I said, back-to-back list, physically gifted, competitive. He's not the tallest guy in the world, maybe like in the 5'11", 6-footish range, but a thicker type kid, 175 to 185 type pounds, can run with the football, break tackles, stretch the play, can carry it over. A lot of yak for him this year. Really strong football player. I think he was about I want to say under 1,000 this year in receiving yards, but nonetheless, hell of a football player, very productive. And the pass game was very productive with Cam Reitner this year as well. But when you got guys like Shavonte Montgomery that you can throw it up to and throw that RPO glance route off to, you're going to win every time. And that's what Texas I did a lot of in 2025 at 62, Shavonte Montgomery. And at number 61, junior defensive end from Gladewater, Texas, it's Amarian Minter. And Amarian Minter made a bunch of plays. This dude is one of the most athletic defensive linemen in East Texas. Has some running back in his history. And when you see him in the defensive line, man, the way that he attacks those offensive tackles, the level he plays at, them boys ain't got a chance. This dude can run, hit. He has great finesse moves. He has great power moves. He gets off of blocks. He can catch an interception, recover fumbles, take him to the crib, sack fumbles, whatever you need, he can do. And a hell of a player. He was the defensive lineman of the year for his district there in Gladewater. Gladewater had one of the best years they've had in a long time. A great turnaround from a team that barely won many games last year to a team that went dang near undefeated. Well, I don't know if they were undefeated, but I know they went to the second or third round this year with a very good record of like 11-2 or something like that. Gladewater was as impressive as they've been in a long time, which was a great job by the coach Jermaine Lewis in his first year out there for Gladewater as the head coach. But when you got guys like Amarian Minter who are physically dominant up front, that can whip offensive tackles and go and push the ball backwards and then go chase it down or do whatever he needs to do for his team on that defensive line. Amarian Minter is one of the best players, and I think he comes up here. And that's the reason why I think he comes up here on the list at number 61, a 94 overall. A really good football player. Can't wait to see what he does in 2026 for those Bears. But he comes up here on the list at number 61.